Hello guys, let's make this kaftan bubble together. So if this is what interests you, kindly watch to the end. I'm going to be using 3.5 yards of Duchess. This is a Duchess silk to do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to shear it into two, because we are going to be placing the back on top of the front, and the fact that it's having a slit in the front, that is why we are shearing the fabric into two. If not, we would have just fold it into four directly. So after folding this part into two, you can see that the other end is on that part. That is where we are going to be putting the 1 inch for slits. So you mark your 1 inch all the way down, and I'm going to be rolling it with a ruler. After rolling it, guys, we are now going to pin them down, because you have to pin it down because it's shaking. I did that off camera. You can see my pins on it. Then I'm going to bring in the back here. So the back is folded into two. Now the folded parts will now be touching my 1 inch. Can you see it? So the folded part will be touching the 1 inch. Make sure you arrange it properly, and also use your pin to also hold the front and back together. Now the next thing is to mark our neck width. So I'm using 3 inches for the wideness of this neck, and I'm also marking 8 inches as the shoulder measurement for the client. For the back, but before we continue, I'm just going to mark 1 inch. I'll rule it. That will serve as my starting line, because I'm going to be putting ½ inch sewing allowance on the upper part. So after ruling the starting line, let's continue. So I have my shoulder measurement and I have my neck width. On the shoulder measurements, I went down by 1 inch, and I'm going to be connecting it to the neck wideness. So you place your ruler like that and you roll it all the way down. That is the shoulder slant. After that, guys, I mark the wideness of the bubble. So you place your tape from the center of your back and you measure it all the way to your sleeve, where you want your sleeve length to get to. So for this, I use 24 inches. 24 inches is good for all sizes. If you want the bubble to have that, cowl effect, because it's a cowl bubble. So you mark 24 inches and you're going to roll it all the way down. After that, you will now cut off the excess fabric from it. Now for the sleeve opening, I'm going to be using 10 inches from my shoulder slant. This is also good for all body sizes or all body measurement. 10 inches is okay. I went in by 1 inch on the 10 inches, and I'm going to be rolling it in a slant form to the shoulder line. Yes. So for the back neck depth, I'm going to be using 1 inch. So I use 1 inch, then I just connect it that way. After that, guys, I'm going to be cutting off the remaining length. Now the length of this is a length of 60 for someone that is not tall, but for a client that is tall, you can use 62 to 63 inches or even 65. So you measure your client. Then on this down part, guys, where you see that chalk touching, I mark 14 inches 14 inches, then you can do 14 and half, that is half-inch sewing allowance. Now you're going to roll it all the way to your sleeve length, that is the sleeve opening. So that is going to give it like a slant form or a V form. Yes, then you're going to cut it off. So you cut it all the way to the shoulder slant, and I'm going to be cutting the back neck. And after cutting, that is it. Then you just give that part a notch, because you're going to sew from that part half-inch all the way down. Now let's come to the neck of the front. So guys, that is the back neck depth. I just make sure I have my chalk for the neck width. So from there guys, I'm going to be marking 8 inches. I use 9 inches for this V neck. Now I'm going to connect it to the neck wideness. So that is the V neck that you are seeing on the front. After marking it, you are now going to cut that place like a straight. That is the 1 inch you are going to be sewing inside. Can you see it? So when you cut it, it gives you something like that. And I'm now going to place the back on it and cut the shoulder slant. Now before that, remember to add your half-inch for shoulder joining. Then you go ahead to cut your shoulder, and our cowl bubble is almost ready. That is the cutting part. So I went ahead to remove the pins. I'm going to separate the back now from the front. After separating it, you're going to sew from that point. Then for the slit on the down part of the dress, you can do 15 inches, or you ask your client where they want the slit to get to. So I mark 15 inches, but if you want it to go upward, you can do 18. Then you sew from that to that 15 inches that I mark. After sewing it, this is how it is. Yeah, can you see it? This is how it is. Now I went ahead to sew it all the way down and also give it a good press so I can have my crease line. So I sew it all the way down, but I'm going to be losing that part. So guys, at this junction, if you've not liked this video, kindly give me a like. You encourage me when you do that. If you've not subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe button. And I'm going to be using hemi gum. You place your hemi gum on that part, but before you hem it, please weave it so that your threads will not be coming out. Then after joining that part, that is when you now cut the facing for this dress. V-necks, you have to use facing. It's not always nice when you use bias to turn it. So this is it. I went ahead to cut my facing after joining the front together, because the facing is not going to have the joining allowance. Then when you sew it, you flip it to the other end. Now this is the facing for the back. I've gone ahead to also cut out facing for the back. You know how to cut facing now. You just place your fabric here, another fabric under, and you cut the exact shape of the neckline. So I'll sew it with half-inch, then I'll also top stitch. Now this is what I mean by you have to weave before you gum with your hemi gum, so it will be very neat. So after weaving and gumming and sewing the neckline, This is it. It is looking very neat. Now guys, we are going to be joining the back and the front shoulder together. So you place your back on it, and we're going to be joining it shoulder with our half-inch allowance. Now because it's ass facing, you can decide to just join it like that, or you open one of the facing. So I open the back facing, I open it up, then you place your front neck on the middle line, and you're going to run it half-inch all the way down. You do the same thing for the other side. I open it up, I place the front on the middle, then you close it like that, and you're going to be sewing with half-inch all the way down. After that guys, you're going to take your sides, then you can see that notch I gave it, that half-inch notch. We're going to run a stitch all the way down from the notch. You do the same thing on the other side. You're going to run half-inch all the way down. I'll do that and I'll come back and show you guys. So I've gone ahead to sew it, and I also weave the sleeve. Then I also hem the down parts. I weave and I hem the down parts. So for the sleeve, you just go ahead and fold it half-inch inward, and you're going to be sewing it. So you sew it. You do the same thing for the other side. After that, our cowl kaftan bobo is ready. I hope you like this tutorial. Give me a like if you enjoy this tutorial, and it's all looking very neat and beautiful. I'll see you all guys in my next one. Bye.